If you're sick of roller coaster dieting and are ready to look and feel your best, unlock that stuck metabolism, love your body again, and experience real and lasting results while never having to diet again, there's only one place to be. The Achievement Coaching with Coach Brett podcast with your host, 30-year fitness and weight loss expert, Brett Reisenhuber, covering pro-metabolic nutrition, expert training methods for any level, developing an unbreakable mental makeup, kick-ass foods, cooking techniques, wine, and cocktails, and insights into helping you design and live your best life. So put in your earbuds, grab a hot or cold drink, and let's get rocking. All right, let's do it. The Achievement Coaching with Coach Brett podcast. Episode number 8 today. I'm totally stoked right now. Starting weight loss again. This is my personal story and how you can get yourself moving again. Amazing sous vide cooking. If you don't know what sous vide is, cooking in water, nice water bath, hot, and its temperature control is badass stuff. And successful meal prep and mindset to get you rocking on your plan. Now, last week I had my birthday, 53 years old. And I've said for quite some time now, my goal is the next 53. So 106 years old. That's my target. Will I make it there? Shit, I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully. I'm going to try. But I know that going the direction I was going, it wasn't going to happen. And not because I was doing things like really bad so far as what everybody thinks, but I didn't know back then what I know now. And all the studying and education, everything I put in, has made a huge difference to my beliefs. I was always focused on weight loss, heavy weightlifting, hitting that cardio, going on my hikes, and that's all great, but also watching that diet and focused in on weight loss. And it was yo-yoing all over the place, and the foods I was taking in was anything I could find to keep the calories down. And you may say, well, shit, that's cool. There's no problem with keeping the calories down. The problem comes when everything you're consuming, for the most part, is focused in on keeping those calories down, and you're filling it in with chemicals. Unfortunately, that happens a lot. I see myself, I was focused in on as many zero or low calorie things as I could possibly have. And I see clients and colleagues and past clients, all kinds of people limiting their calories, and in some instances, below 1,000. And for 99.99% of the population should never get that low. And not seeing results. So last week I had my birthday, and the next day I got on the scale, and I'd been off the scale for a while. I said, all right, I'm 53 now. Let's get a starting point. Let's figure out where I'm at. And I was pissed off when I got on that scale and it was 10 pounds higher than where I thought it was, right? I'd gained 10 pounds. And I'd kind of gotten off the scale because I just got sick of looking at it, not really making any movement, even though I was eating all my pro-metabolic foods. I lost my shit for a minute. I'm not kidding. Because being 10 pounds up, I was already 20 pounds over where I wanted to be. And now I see 10 pounds more. I'm like, fuck. Now I got to lose 30 pounds. I was shocked. I was pissed off. I tell you, I was even ashamed of myself. I coach people on this stuff, and so many times we find ourselves doing what we do, and we forget about doing what we need to do for ourselves. I was eating the great, healthy, pro-metabolic food. I'm almost all organic, grass-fed, all kinds of great stuff. My portions were way off, and I would still go off and screw it up on a semi-regular basis. We go out to eat or whatever, and drinking. I was drinking way too much. So I dedicated myself to really getting back on track, cutting back on the drinking, and going back really to square one, day one, square one of the program that I teach my clients. And I had to kind of tool around with that one in my head too, because I'm like, well, my program is designed to lead people into a healthy, strong, just ramped up massive metabolism, going from where we used to be. Right? Going from where I used to be. That was how I started to make the shift. And I shifted away from my own plans, and I'm going back. So I'm actually doing a little bit of backpedaling, a little bit of backtracking. But at the same point, I had the opportunity to tell some of my clients who needed a restart, hey, tell you what, why don't we talk about restarting your program back at the beginning, just like I'm doing? Because if I could go off and restart my program from the very, very beginning, even though I've already made dramatic changes in my body's health. I mean, like, I don't get sick anymore, knock on wood, you know, but I don't remember the last time I was sick. And I don't think I've really been sick since I started this plan, with the exception of drinking some bad milk recently, which put me down for a day. But granted, that was my fault, but it had nothing to do with bad health or anything else. So technically, I started my program yesterday, but really I started dialing it in last week. We still had a little bit of fun. You know, we went out for some Mexican food one day on the weekend and had some wine and some martinis and all that kind of fun shit. But I started really making my plan. I put my plan into action. Now, yes, I'm going to be losing weight. Yes, one of my goals is to lose weight, but health is my first priority, and I want the weight loss to come with it. So I'm down 7 pounds already since the day after my birthday in a week. And that's a lot, but I also know that that other 10 pounds, it came on relatively quickly. So I know some of it was water. So I didn't lose 7 pounds of freaking fat in a week. No way. I mean, let's just do the simple math on that. 3,500 calories times 7 days, that's 24,500 calorie deficit. Okay. There is no way in hell I had a 24,500 calorie deficit in what I consumed in the last week. All right, so we also got to pay attention to reality. Am I stoked I'm down 7 pounds? Yeah, I'll be even more stoked when I get back down to the number I started at. I'll be even more stoked when I get to my target number. Now, what are the secrets to success in any weight loss program, including mine? All right, awesome support is going to be a big one. Awesome support. We'll start there. We got honesty coming up in there too. We'll start with awesome support. I support my clients. They support me. I've got several clients, a number of clients, who are actually jumping back onto the program. In the beginning, we're supporting each other. It's my goal to support them, but in seeing them do it while I'm doing it, that is something I'm going to take from also. So it's going to benefit me, and I definitely want to benefit them. The next thing is my wife is joining me, and that's going to benefit both of us because now we're on the same page. We're on the same plan, and in fact, I do all the cooking and prepping, so that's a big support for her. It's all about making sure that you do this for the right reasons and make sure you have the awesome support. Next thing is you just got to have a solid nutrition plan. Then you got to follow that nutrition plan. Now, there's lots of different nutrition plans you could use to lose weight. So the question becomes, do you want to focus in on the lose weight or on the lose weight being healthy? Right? Because the traditional ways of losing weight, I don't believe are healthy. We've talked about in multiple podcasts, but I mean, if you're cutting out entire food groups and macros and all that kind of stuff, I mean, there's nothing healthy about that. Your body is designed to work in a certain way. In fact, the best energy source for your body is sugar. And sugar is like the biggest devil that anybody can point their finger at. Oh, sugar's the devil, right? Well, no, it's actually not. You need to make sure you're using it in the correct way in your pro-metabolic nutrition plan. And I've done some videos and coachings on that in the Weight Loss Support Club in Facebook. Feel free to jump in. In fact, I just did one on sugar. It was badass. So having that solid nutrition plan, I mean, if you want to go and jump on the old keto bandwagon, you know, the low carb, the cabbage soup diet, the Cabbage Patch Kids diet, whatever, you're eliminating things that are going to lower your metabolism, slow it down, and you'll be coming back to it again later on. The reason that they're hard to maintain is that your body's freaking out. You know, you pull all the sugars out of your body and expect it not to be banging you for more sugar. Going, okay, hey, yo, give me some sugar. That's the way it goes, right? It wants the sugar. So pick your plan, pick your support. Those are huge. The next thing, you're going to need a solid mind makeup, mental makeup, however you want to call it. I like to call it mental makeup. People call it mindset. I'm sick of the word mindset. So I'll go mental makeup. And you got to make sure that you're supporting yourself. You are important. When I started my plan, when I looked at that scale on Tuesday, I was fucking pissed. I was pissed off at myself. I felt bad about where I let myself go to, but at the same point I said, I have other qualities, other traits. Muscle mass is there. That's going to help to facilitate weight loss. I have a plan. I just have to do it. And you have to look at yourself in a success terms, right? You have to look at yourself as being a success. And when you do that, it's gonna work. It's gonna help you to keep going because you're gonna remember, this is where I wanna be. Everything that you do, like I just talked about, is just gonna help you to build that success thing in your mind, right? It's gonna help keep you on track. The other thing to know is you will have failures and setbacks. I will too. When you have a failure or a setback, accept it, acknowledge it, maybe figure out why it happened. Maybe it just, hey, that just happened, right? And just get back on track. Don't dwell on it. Remember, we want to live healthy, but we want to live our lives. We want to have a good time too, right? So you've got to make the decisions for you that are best for you, right? And if you say, well, best for me is drinking every day. Well, we know you're full of shit there. So, it's not healthy and it's not going to get you to where you want to be pretty much in any term. So make sure that you set yourself up for success. And that's really what I'm working on here. I am going to set myself up for success. I have already done that and I'm doing everything I need to do. We're going to talk about some of it in a minute when we get into meal prep and we're going to dig into a little bit more mindset. But first off, one of my favorite things out there is food. I love my food. I also love to cook and I love to serve great food. And that's always one of the things that's kind of been good for me along the way when it comes to weight loss, because I know how to cook and I know how to make shit taste really good. And then I just got to know how to modify to make it right. So today, one of the things I want to hit on is sous vide cooking. Now, if you don't know what sous vide is, or if you do, I'm going to bear with me for 5 seconds while I explain it. It's a temperature-controlled water bath that you put a vacuum-sealed or just a bag with all the air coming out of it of food and whatever you want in it, and it cooks it at a lower and precise controlled temperature, often for a longer time period, and pretty much gives you the opportunity to have perfectly cooked food every time, which is kind of cool. I have a sous vide that I bought maybe 5 years ago, maybe longer, and it was a great unit until they screwed up their app, right? So I got a Mellow, and it'll actually cool things down so you can start the cooking process later all through the app. But somewhere in there they decided, okay, they charged $300 for this fucking thing. And I bought 3 of them. I bought one for me, I bought one for my parents, and I bought one for my in-laws because it's such a badass thing. And the app worked great. You could program it so I could take my chicken. Let's just say I took a chicken breast and I put it into the vacuum thing and I dropped in maybe a piece of butter, some herbs, some salt, some pepper, vacuum sealed it, I throw it in, right? It'll cool it down and hold temperature so you don't have to have it in the refrigerator all day long. And then at the time I want it to start cooking, to have it ready at a certain point in time. It was badass. But then they started deciding, we're going to take away your ability to do all this stuff unless you pay us for the app. And this was years after I bought the fucking product, right? So I'm pissed. The app still works, but you got to run it all on your own. And they had programming in there and everything. So I think that's a nasty ass bait and switch, and they never should have done that. And there's lots of bad reviews about it out there. But for me, I just adapted the best I could and I use it to the best of my ability. But for my birthday, I got an Anova, which is a second one. So having one sous vide doesn't always work. And I'll tell you why. It's a longer cooking process. I've got right now in the sous vide some pork tenderloin that I did up to match, or kind of match, a pork dish that I got from a local restaurant up here called Zocalo. And it's a really good slow cooked pork. It has some smoke on it and everything. And I put in different packages of the pork into the sous vide on Sunday. So right now, I'm cooking at 145 degrees, and it's been in for 45 hours and 41 minutes and 51 seconds. And it's gonna go about 72 hours by the time we're done. But I pulled one of the packages out last night, and we ate it. It was great, but it wasn't as tender as what I wanted. I thought it was okay. My wife said it was a little bit tough. So that tells me, okay, it comes out tomorrow. So we'll go about 72 hours cooking on it. You can see if you've got 145 degree and maybe I want to do 155 degree on something else, I've got to have 2 devices. And I'm not going to spend $300 on another one of those Mellows and deal with that bullshit. So get an Anova and a container to put it in and a cover for it, and you're good to go. Right now I'm cooking the pork. I also cooked up some chicken breasts. The chicken breasts were amazing. I did overnight steel cut oats where I put them at 155 degrees in some glass jars, and they stayed in all night, and in the morning, Denise and I had breakfast. And then I took a couple of our farm fresh, organic, range-fed eggs. I put them in, let them sit in there for 45 minutes. They actually needed a little bit more. They were a little runny, but we had soft-boiled eggs. Nice and easy, and it worked perfectly. Now, tomorrow night, I'm doing scallops. So definitely gonna be tasty. But here's the thing. I like blending multiple cooking techniques. So for the scallops, I'll put them into the sous vide and they're gonna be done great. If I wanna add fat to it, I add fat. If I don't wanna add fat, I don't add fat. When I pull them out, I'll sear them off in a fry pan so that we're gonna have some caramelization and some color on it. With the pork that I did, I started it, I marinated it, got my good sauce on it, and then I took the sauce and the marinade, and I put the chicken breasts in a pan. I had a divider in them so that they didn't have cross-contamination, and I put them on the Green Mountain Grill, on the smoker, and I smoked them for, that was probably about an hour or so, low temperature, just getting some smoke on these things. And then I packaged everything up in the vacuum packer, and I threw them into the sous vide. When I pull the pork out of the sous vide, I will then finish it in the frying pan. So I'm actually using 3 cooking mediums to cook the pork. I will use 2 to cook the scallops. The great thing is, there's not any question when I put it in the fry pan, how long does this need to cook? Because they're already done. All I'm doing is getting a kind of a high temperature sear on them, getting some caramelization. So you can sous vide, you can fry, you can smoke, you can do anything you want with that sous vide cooking. And it just makes life awesome and easy, and you don't have to think, oh my God, am I gonna overcook the damn chicken breast? No, you throw the chicken breast in there, you take your amount of time, you put on your temperature, and you let it sit. When you're done, if you wanna throw it in the fry pan to get a sear, you do it. And if you don't, you don't. No big deal. You wanna get some smoke on it first. I got a little smoke on the chicken first. I seasoned it up, got some smoke on it, put it in the sous vide, and when I was done, that was it. I didn't even throw it in the fry pan, though I could have, but it was pretty darn good anyway. So when you're doing your cooking, you wanna make sure that you're always going for flavor, especially when you're going for your own personal goal of weight loss, because you never want to be in a position where you don't want to eat the shit that you prepared for yourself. That is just a huge one for me. I know that when I vacuum seal a chicken breast or a bunch of chicken breasts in a bunch of packages and I cook them in the sous vide, when they come out, they're still vacuum sealed and they got juices in there and they're juicy and fresh. That's what I want. And I can throw them in the freezer, pull them out when I want. But we all know, and if you don't know, I'm gonna share with you right now, when you prep your food for the week, because usually you don't wanna prep every day, 5-6 meals a day, you wanna prep for the week so that it's easier to live your life. Well, if you cook a bunch of chicken breasts, they're gonna be dried out and tasting like shit by the end of the week, and you are not going to want to eat those. But if it's just as fresh now as the minute you pulled it out of the sous vide and you're like, I'm in, this is gonna be good. That is one of the secrets to a successful weight loss program and having your nutrition plan and meal prep all set up, which is going to lead us to successful meal prep. We've almost covered it all already, right? Talking about that, but successful meal prep and mindset. Let's start with that mindset. Let's start there because we're talking about making changes in life and changes in your body. So with mindset, the first thing you got to do is you got to decide that you want to change. You have to be willing to make it a priority. You have to know that it's going to take some time. You have to also accept that there's going to be setbacks, right? And not get down on yourself either from a setback or from where you are now, like I was talking about earlier. And we want to make sure that you are happy with you no matter what, because you're an awesome, awesome, awesome person. And if you gain some extra weight, cool, that doesn't make you a bad person. It means you gained some fucking weight. Take it off. Do it in a healthy way. Then you'll be even more awesome person. And when people can watch you and the things that you're doing and learn from you and be motivated by you, I can't tell you how many of my clients over the years and decades I've been doing weight loss and coaching where my clients motivated somebody else to get healthy. That is so awesome. That's a big win for me right there. That's a double win. Because now I got 2 people who are wanting to be healthier. It's so awesome. But you got to have that right mindset. And man, you need to have your why. Why do you want to lose the weight? Why do you want to get healthy? I mean, why do I want to get healthy? It just doesn't even make sense. It's obvious, right? I want to get healthy for me so I can live the next 53 years. Yeah, but why do you want to lose weight? Why not just In-N-Out burger? And that shit tastes awesome, right? Why not just eat that shit every day? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, In-N-Out burgers. animal style, fries, all that kind of stuff. Milkshake. I have a Diet Coke with it. I can't tell you how many times I ordered In-N-Out Burger on the road trip and had a Diet Coke with it. But the big deal is none of that is going to give you healthy lifestyle, healthy body, or healthy metabolism, right? The Diet Coke sure as hell ain't gonna do it. In-N-Out Burger sure isn't gonna do it. Am I saying I'm never gonna eat In-N-Out Burger again? Hell no. In-N-Out Burger is the bomb. But it's gonna be a very rare, infrequent kind of a thing that I'm gonna do. So you gotta decide your why. Why change? Why now? What are you going to achieve? What do you want to achieve? And once again, is your number one priority health or weight loss? Hopefully it's health, where you can inspire the weight loss in your body while eating more. God, I just love that fact, man. When you have a healthy metabolism and a pro-metabolic nutrition plan, you can eat more. Fuck this under 1,200 calorie diet shit where you're not losing weight. God, that's gotta be frustrating as all hell. Don't do that. Don't do that, right? So what's your number one priority, right? Is it health or weight loss? And that leads you to your meal plan. If you're going for health, you're going for pro-metabolic nutrition. And that's what I choose. It's also what I coach. If you're going for rapid weight loss, man, anything could work. I mean, you got to know you'll just be back at it again. I'm just being honest here, right? If you're going keto, people, I live the keto lifestyle. Well, your body really ain't that healthy in there. And, you can't even really intelligently argue that it is, right? I mean, anybody can. And I'm not out to put anybody down here, not at all. What I'm saying that the truth is the way the body works, you're putting it through more stress because the body's ideal energy source is sugar. And when you pull the sugars out and you force the body to burn protein and fat, it makes the body work harder and produce more shit that screws the body up and eventually lowers the metabolism. Plus, it totally fucks up your sugar sensitivity in your body. So when you do take in sugar, your body's like, yo, hey, whoa, what's going on here? What the hell is, I used to like this. Now I don't even know what the hell it is. What do I do with it? Get where I'm going with that? It comes to, people talk about intermittent fasting. Right? Well, I call that food timing, and I always have. You're just timing your food. And guess what? We all do intermittent fasting, all of us, because we do this thing called sleeping. And sleeping is why we have breakfast comes from sleeping, right? Because you've been fasting all night long, and then you get up in the morning and you break the fast, right? Well, people, I don't eat breakfast because I work out on an empty stomach. Well, you're taxing your body in a little bit more of a different way now by doing that, and not really going to be the healthiest thing for it there either. There's lots of different arguments out there about how to do the same thing. And you got to find what your priority is and then go for it. I hope you look at things like I do and you're looking at going for healthy nutrition, healthy body, and let the weight loss come while you get to eat more and eat the foods that you love. That's badass. Now for meal prep, let the games begin. Time to get into how to meal prep for success. And meal prepping, it's something I've been doing for 10 million years. I've hired people to do meal prep for me. I've done it myself. One thing that I find, meal prep's a pain in the ass. But you got to go shopping first. That's a pain in the ass too. You got to check your lists off. You got to figure out how much to buy. So I figure I'm doing it. I might as well do it for somebody else too. And no, don't call me up and say, Coach Brett, hey, I heard you want to do my meal prep. No, I don't actually. But I'm doing my meal prep and I'm doing meal prep for my wife. So now I've got my wife on the same plan as me. How does that sound? Is that leading towards success, right? When you have somebody else doing it with you, that's leading you towards success. Right now, I've got myself where I'm meal prepping for my wife and myself on a set plan. And it's the same plan that I have my clients on, some of my clients. Some of them are further on down the line on their programming. So this is from the beginning. Like I said, that's where I'm starting. We're all on the same page. How is that for massive amounts of support? So I invited people to come join me on the program, so that we're all on the same page, because I knew it would help more people, right? And that's the big deal. It'll help me more too. Honestly, let's just be honest, straight up. The more people you have doing the same thing, the more success you're going to have, which is why we always had massive success when I owned the Achievement Fitness Transformation Center and we ran the 6-week challenge. I got 150 people all doing the exact same thing. Massive success, massive results. I've changed my beliefs and my views since then as far as what we're consuming, but the rest of it still stands strong. So the next thing you want to do once you decide how you're doing it, you're going to pick your meal plan, right? We already kind of touched on that one. Whether you're going rapid weight loss and not going the super healthy route, or you're going healthy and you're going with the pro-metabolic nutrition plan. And once you have that set, then you make out your plan. You make out your grocery list. And I'm doing big time grocery lists in Excel spreadsheets so that I know exactly what to get. I'm ordering them, setting up so it's easy to put in how many people am I doing this for, put in 2, it doubles everything up. I just take the entire week's meal plan, put it into the Excel spreadsheet. So I know how much to get. Then you got to go do your shopping and you got to organize things. And then you got to look at your schedule for what you have for foods. And then you need a shit ton of containers of all kinds of different sizes and types, varieties to put all your food in, right? So I found at Costco, Costco was the first place that I went, and I bought all my proteins at Costco because I can get organic on stuff that's organic, stuff that's really not available that much organic. I just get what I get. Seafood, massive amounts there, and I'm able to get all of it there at a decent price. Well, as I'm walking out, I'm thinking, all right, I'm coming along this outside edge rather than walking up the middle with all the other yahoos, and I wanted some more containers, and I use these containers for sharing food with neighbors at Super Bowl, because on Super Bowl I always smoke a bunch of pork and I load them up in containers and I take my custom barbecue sauce and I bring it to all my neighbors. And I figured, okay, well, I got this stuff at Smart and Final type store. I thought, okay, maybe Costco has it, right? So I didn't see them there, but as I was walking, all of a sudden I see, hey, food prep containers. Cool, all right. Since we moved, I have not been able to find all the 10 gazillion food prep containers I have. So I just grabbed another set of these. It was great. Plus, for some reason, all of our storage containers at the house, I don't know if you have this problem, but they friggin' disappear. I'm like, where the fuck are all my containers? I had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of containers, and now I got like 4. So make sure you get containers, but also know you're gonna wanna have different sizes, right? If I want a little salad dressing, I need a smaller container, because it usually needs to shake up, right? So if you decide to put your sauces or salad dressings or whatever straight into a multiple chamber container, you're not gonna be able to shake it. And if you do, you're gonna beat the shit out of everything else. So different containers. Plus, I like to have things like glass, canning jars. In the canning jars, I can put them in a sous vide, or I can carry them around. It's just a different way to look at the same thing, and they're great for shaking. So lots of containers, lots of different sizes. Shop for the week. Now, when you shop, I'm gonna say shop for the week. You gotta shop for all your food for the week, because you don't wanna have to go to the grocery store 50 times. And you're already gonna screw up on something, and you're gonna have to go back again anyway. Shop for your proteins for the month. Hit Costco. Get all the proteins that you're gonna need for the month. Now, you might end up needing to do some more of that. But if I buy scallops, which is what I'm going to be having for dinner tomorrow night, and I'll do them in the sous vide, and it came in a big bag. It cost me $70 for a bag of friggin' scallops. But I put them in the best part of the best freezer that I have, so that all I got to do is pull them out as I need them. Same thing with shrimp. Costco's great with that kind of stuff. Chicken breasts. I got organic chicken breasts, 3-pack, right? Cut the packages apart before you put them in the damn refrigerator, and then you got them ready to go, right? And pay attention to how long food will stay good for after you cook it, like chicken, right? We do not want old chicken. Definitely do not want old chicken. That's nasty. So I hope you guys learned something from this. Give me some comments. Give me some feedback. Share your story with me. Jump into the free Weight Loss Success Club. Jump into some of those trainings there. Share your stuff with me. Share what you're going through. Share your wins. Share your successes. Share your secrets. Share your tricks. Have some fun. And if you have any questions, things you want me to hit on in here, please, by all means, let me know. This has been an awesome podcast. I had a great time. I hope you did too. Live healthy. Be successful, have fun, and thank you for listening to and or watching the Achievement Coaching Podcast with Coach Brett. I'm Coach Brett. Until next week, live your life. Have a great time. Cheers, everybody.